touching each other, and then they go to the bench and they put on a mask. What? I'm just asking. Sports, fourth, astrology. Not astronomy, astrology. You ever open up a Chinese cookie and get insulted? Never. It's always, this is going to fortune cookie. It's going to be a great day. Today you're going to meet your fortune. Today you're going to encounter an opportunity. It never says you smell bad, nobody likes you. You never get that one. Why is that? And the fifth one is crime. So this week in the news, famous comic characters, sports, astrology, and crime. Call us right now for Can You Beat Kirk? 888-971-7243, 888-971-7243. We're already good to go on Phone a Bro. We've got Rodney. He's been waiting. I think Rodney's been waiting since the Bronze Age, isn't he? And he's from Colorado Springs, where my ex-wife lives. And we've got his opponent already lined up. Sharon is in San Francisco. So we've got a little Colorado versus San Francisco thing happening. Rockies versus the Giants. So I need two more for Can You Beat Kirk? 888-971-SAGE. And we'll play that next segment. Now, can I just get into this real quickly? Chicago Public Schools announced introduction of gender-neutral bathrooms.
One change that will be implemented this school year relates to our school bathrooms. In compliance with new federal guidelines, all CPS students and staff will have fair and equitable access to bathroom facilities that align with their gender identity. We will be providing all schools with updated signage that makes our bathrooms more inclusive. It will identify the fixtures available in each restroom.
Makes our bathrooms more inclusive. Is the same orchestra conductor that did the Alec Baldwin music doing this music too?
And make it clear that all restrooms are open for use by anyone who feels comfortable.
All restrooms are open for use by anybody who feels comfortable. Whether you want to use a bathroom or not, just come on down like a restaurant.
Staff will continue to have staff-only restrooms available to them. This is an incredibly important step to increase gender equity for all, which is why we will be requiring all schools to post this signage by December 1st of this school year. Our district's Office of Student Protections and Title IX is also working on a long-term plan to create more permanent signage for our bathrooms.
So that's Chicago Public Schools. New report, Illinois, statewide, 20% of its nearly 3,800 schools are rated as underperforming or lowest performer. That's statewide. Half of all Chicago schools failed to meet the state's threshold for performance. Half of Chicago's 94 lowest performers, 40% were high schools. A disproportionate number considering that high schools count for closer to 25% of the district schools. Nearly all of the under or low performing Chicago high schools are on the south side or sit on the border in the city's poorest census tract. Wow. Listen to this report from ABC 7 earlier this year.
Judy, if public education is considered an investment in our future, then Chicago has a serious problem with the rate of return. New data obtained tonight by the ABC 7 I-team revealing that about 30% of Chicago public school students are at risk of not taking part in classes during the school year that
but maybe they're in the bathroom.
Starts today.
We identify students based on their attendance, truancy, grades, discipline, and so we identified specific indicators and weighed them and identified who was at risk, who was at high risk of not re-engaging.
Not re-engaging is CPS talk for playing hooky, the old school term for students who are habitually absent, AWOL from classes. They just don't show up for school. According to new data obtained tonight by the I-team after a public records request, CPS has identified 100,274 students as considered to be in need of interventions or outreach in order to facilitate their full engagement for the upcoming school year. In other words, 100,274 students likely to regularly skip class or be late, about a third of the entire district. The significant number of missing students is not for want of trying, according to CPS officials and City Hall.
There's a huge amount of work that went into place every single day. Postcards, door knocks, text messages, and the like to really reach out to those students that we were most concerned about, to let them know, first of all, figure out what supports they needed over the course of the summer, and then obviously to let them know when school was starting and additional supports that they would need.
Curry High School on the southwest side has the most students in need of interventions, followed by Taft High School on the northwest side, Kelly High on the southwest, Juarez High in Pilsen, and Simeon on the south side.
We tracked everything, so from attempts not being able to connect to attempts and connections, and so all of that is tracked, and so we will be doing that same kind of follow-up as a result of this week's attendance and engagement.
Tonight, CPS officials say data for their outreach efforts is still being compiled and that the interventions aimed at returning AWOL students to class continues. It's an issue that recalls what one former Wisconsin congressman said: if we get public education right, everything else will follow. But if we get it wrong, not much else will matter.
Hey, but they've announced the introduction of gender-neutral bathrooms.
One change that will be implemented this school year relates to our school bathrooms. In compliance with new federal guidelines, all CPS students and staff will have fair and equitable access to bathroom facilities that align with their gender identity. We will be providing all schools with updated signage that makes our bathrooms more inclusive.
Updated signage. Can they read? I mean, honestly. Now, Fox News says that a search of the Clinton Presidential Library reveals that Jeffrey Epstein, the late Jeffrey Epstein, visited the White House a boatload of times.
This information came from the Clinton Presidential Library through the Freedom of Information Act, and the Daily Mail reports that it shows Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House 17 times, the first being in February of '93.
Maybe he's looking for the bathroom.
A month after Bill Clinton was inaugurated. The logs show that Epstein would normally visit the West Wing, which is a good indication he was there to see the president. In fact, during several visits, Clinton and Epstein were photographed together. And Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend, appears in at least one of those White House photos. Now, that's important because Maxwell is currently on trial for recruiting underage girls for Epstein. And that alleged recruitment would have coincided with Epstein's numerous trips to the White House.
Maybe he was recruiting people from the White House. Just, Bill Clinton. Why don't we just let it alone right here? How dare you?